So we are using an enzyme in everything that we've been going to be doing this today.
Yeah.
And the enzyme is called transglutaminase, but we refer to it affectionately as meat glue.
The culinarians at the table refer to it as meat glue. The scientists at the table refer to it as transglutaminase.
But maybe you could talk a little bit about what transglutaminase is. It is an enzyme, but what does that mean?
Yeah. So we see enzymes in the kitchen all the time. We could certainly wax poetically on enzymatic biochemistry, but we won't do that. We see enzymes in the kitchen. If you cut a potato, if you cut an apple, it'll brown. That's an enzymatic reaction. I'm not sure, Wiley, if you've made cheese in your kitchen. You've probably made cheese in your day.
Yeah, we've made cheese before.
And
certainly.
you would add an enzyme rennet to that. And that would precipitate the kappa casein in the milk and create that physical, the curd, natural curd. In our case, it's transglutaminase, meat glue. It's an enzyme that is capable of linking two different amino acids, glutamine and lysine. And there is a reaction that this enzyme catalyzes that allows these two to bond together and create a covalent bridge. A covalent bond is a very strong type of bond. And when chefs refer to this stuff as glue, it is a form of adhesion. You're creating sort of, you have two pieces that have now become one. And there is a seam or a bond between those. In this case, it's a covalent bond, but it is ultimately glued together or adhered. Enzymes themselves are basically proteins. Proteins are composed of amino acids, long chains of amino acids. We see proteins everywhere in the kitchen. Meats, seafood, legumes, soybean,
Poultry.
You see them everywhere. Eggs.
Yep.
Eggs. So proteins are ubiquitous. More often than not, they're structural. A muscle tissue is a structural element in the kitchen, but you see them everywhere. You see them in foaming. We make a meringue. That's a denatured protein. Emulsifiers, they actually are able to bring oil and water together in different systems. So in this case specifically, we're talking about an enzyme, and what an enzyme does is basically speed up a chemical reaction. It lowers the amount of energy needed for the reaction to occur, and basically creates an environment where that reaction is energetically favorable. In this case, it is the bonding of glutamine and lysine. Throughout the various demonstrations that we're going to talk about today and carry out, that reaction is happening. These enzymes are sensitive to various environmental conditions: temperature, time, pH, these different environmental conditions. We're going to talk in detail about those conditions when we come to the particular demonstrations. But for now, it's just enough to say that pH, temperature, time, agitation, physical proximity, these environmental conditions are central in the enzyme's activity and the enzyme's ability to act to catalyze the bonding of the glutamine and the lysine to create a bond or adherence or glue.
Yeah, and we're going to take that reaction and show some pretty novel preparations. So we're going to show some basic stuff, sort of restructuring basic muscle foods, taking a piece of fish, bonding it to itself, taking a piece of meat, taking a thin cut, making it a thicker cut. Show some slightly more complicated things, noodles, taking a shrimp and completely restructuring it, reforming it into a almost unrecognizable shape. And then we're going to show how we can actually use this reaction, use this enzyme in systems that don't even have the requisite amino acids present by introducing
those amino acids. So
those
you
amino
could create
acids.
that texture without even having any muscle tissue there.
So yeah, in vegetables, things like that.
That'd be great.
Yeah, so let's go.
Let's get to it.
All right.